It happened again.
Oh, no.
Hi guys, welcome to a brand new episode of AB in the Films. I just sat through 50 Shades Darker. That's right! After seeing the first 50 Shades of Grey and loathing it, and calling it the worst film of 2015, 2 years later, I go see the second one. And here is my quick synopsis on it. It sucked. It sucked. It sucked. It sucked. It sucked. Okay. Here's the thing. When I saw the first movie, I hated it. Hated it. I mean, it really fueled anger in me, okay? I hated it. This one, I don't hate as much. But man, was it boring! I mean boring! Boring! I was falling asleep in the theater! I went to the 1 o'clock show. I never fall asleep in the movies. Never! I kept checking my phone! I must have checked my phone maybe 5 times throughout the whole thing. I was so bored! So bored! So bored. This is the movie, okay? Are you ready for this? This is the whole movie from beginning to end. It's an hour and 55 minutes, I think. Maybe a little over 2 hours. Guys, it felt like 3.5. I'm not exaggerating. It felt like 3.5. It did. The first time I pulled out my phone, I thought we were maybe like, 45 minutes into the movie? No! 15 minutes! 15 minutes in! And it felt like we were 45 minutes in. Incredible. Unbelievable. Okay, so this is the movie. This is the whole movie. Christian and Anna, or as I call them, Bella and Edward, because it's Bella and Edward, folks, let's be honest. Bella and Edward get back together. That's the movie. That's the whole thing. From beginning to end, they get back together. Now, let's talk about the funny shit in this movie. Let's talk about the funny stuff, because there is a little bit of funny stuff. Aside from the fact that it was boring as hell. But anyway, let's get into the funny stuff. Okay, it picks up right at the end of the first one, and you know the first one ends where they break up because he spanks her on the ass too hard, and she's like, "Oh, I can't be with you anymore." Well, then I guess it's a couple of weeks later or something, I don't know. She gets flowers from Christian. And it says, "Have fun at your new job," and she doesn't want to see him anymore. But then holy shit! I'm sorry. It's just I love this Twilight fan fiction, man. I laugh my ass off to this. It's just so funny. This is Twilight fan fiction. It's so fucking funny, but it was boring. But anyway, here's the problem. Here's what happens next. She finally, Anastasia Steele, by the way, her name, Anastasia Steele, that name is said at least 5 times in this film. And just like the last movie, every time they say it, I just laugh my ass off. Guys, that is a name a woman uses when she goes into the witness protection program. Or, like, I don't know, a porn star's name. That's not an actual name. It's not. Every time I hear Christian Grey say that name, Anastasia Steele, I laugh my ass off. I'm not kidding. I laughed so fucking hard. And I was trying really hard not to hold it in because, believe it or not, this theater was pretty crowded this time. The last time I went to go see... Okay, it doesn't matter. Anyway. So then, she gets the flowers from Christian Grey. And she's like, I don't want to go see him. And then she goes back to her job. And then she's going to this art gallery or something. And there's a lot of pictures of her everywhere. And the pictures were taken, and she doesn't know this, by the way. These pictures on display of her were taken, and they're not explicit or anything. It's just her, like, looking all serious and shit, you know, like that. Were taken by her friend Jose. Which I've been calling Jacob, because he's pretty much Jacob from Twilight, people, okay? So, she goes to meet Jose, and then he says, well, but actually, we just had a collector who just bought all 6 pictures. And she turns around, and there's Christian stalking her, because, you know, we've established he likes to stalk her. Ladies, he is stalking her. You can call it anything you want, but but he is stalking her. And if you find that attractive, you know what? Don't talk to me if you find that attractive. Don't talk to me. Okay, so anyway, she is talking to Christian, and she says to him, she says, how did you find me? How did you know I was here? Bitch, you knew he was stalking you already! Like, come on! So anyway, they're talking, and then he invites her as friends to go to lunch. And she's like, Christian, we're not in a relationship anymore. He goes, I know, but I still want to talk to you. And they sit down, and he says, I want to renegotiate the terms. And then, 2 minutes later, they're back together. They're back together. So I guess the moral of getting back together with a girl that you kind of do BDSM with, if you say, I want to renegotiate the terms, yeah, she'll just run right back to you. Okay. I believe it. So anyway, they get back together, and that's the whole movie. That's the whole movie. It's them in a relationship, and it's really stretched out. I mean, like, okay, remember how in Breaking Dawn Part 1 in Twilight, and I understand, Andrew, why are you comparing this to Twilight? It's not Twilight. Yes, it is! Yes, it is! It's Twilight! Remember how in Breaking Dawn Part 1, where the whole movie was stretched out and nothing happened in Breaking Dawn Part 1. They get married, they have sex, they have a kid. That's Part 1 of Breaking Dawn. Okay, imagine that in a movie, minus those elements, but a couple just getting back together again. For 2 hours of this shit. 2 hours. Feeling like 3.5. A couple getting back together. And going to their job. You know, Christian Grey follows her to work. She has sex with him. She doesn't want to be near him. She's trying to change him. He's afraid of his inner demons. Guys, this was really hard. This was really, really hard. Really hard. Okay. So then, after that happens, they finally get back together, which, by the way, we all knew that was coming. And he invites her to go to this ball, as we've all seen in the trailers. He invites her to go to this ball, and I guess, I don't know, I wasn't really following it that well, guys. Maybe the books do, I don't know. I don't have time to read the books, I really don't. But, he invites her to this ball, I guess for his company or something, because he's like a billionaire or something with his, I guess his clothing line. I don't even know what his company sells. I have no idea. But anyway, he takes her to this ball, and she finds that there's another woman there, played by Kim Basinger, who apparently had a relationship with Christian before he met Anna. And Kim Basinger walks up to Dakota Johnson, who plays Anna, and she says, "You think you're the first person that's tried to change him?" And they have a whole conversation, and of course, Dakota Johnson says her lines, walks away, is afraid of Kim Basinger, doesn't trust Christian, because why else would she be at the party if Christian still wasn't into Kim Basinger, because they had a relationship before. And by the way, do any of you give a fuck about this? No. And like I said, we're only 25 minutes into the movie here! 25 minutes in! So, that happens, and then, wait till you hear this! Wait till you hear this! Christian has problems because again, and here's the thing, when the movie opened up, I honestly thought, because it had a new director, I thought, okay, maybe we can get to the core of why Christian acts like this, because we understand from the last one, his mother was I think a cokehead or something. He was abused as a child. Maybe we can learn more about that instead of this BDSM bullshit. No, we don't. I mean, the movie starts off with Christian Grey as a little kid hiding from his parents and everything, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna get into the domestic side and everything. We really don't. The only time we ever really dive into that is where he doesn't want to be touched. And he has to tell Anna that when they do it, he can't be touched in certain parts. So, this is what they do. I am not kidding you. I was trying so hard not to laugh here. He has Anna up to him. He takes his shirt off. he puts a lipstick in Anna's hand, and he makes her draw from here to here. And he says, in here you cannot touch me. This is my boundary. And like 2 days later, he's in the shower, and the lipstick is still on there. What? What? First of all, okay, she has touched him there in the previous movie. She has. And when he rubs up against her, she's obviously touching him there. So, this makes no sense at all. At all, okay? Other than the fact it's freaking hilarious. So, that happens, and he's in the shower, and he's right underneath the shower head. It's 2 days later after she drew the lipstick on his chest. And the shower water's hitting it, and obviously it's not coming off. And then Anna walks in, nude, obviously, and she says, hey, do you want me to help wash that off? And she's got a sponge with soap on it. And I'm like, I don't think you can, because the water's hitting him and it's not coming off, so I don't know how. And it's been on him for the last 2 days now. Nothing's gonna get that off, I don't know. And then Anna goes into his sex dungeon again, and she finds this new toy that she doesn't use. Apparently what this thing is, it extends, and you hook your feet, you hook one foot at the end of the rod, and you hook your other foot into the other end of the rod, and it extends to extend your legs, I guess. And, oh my god, here's another funny line. He's looking at her, and she goes, what's this thing? Like, she's interested in it. She's like, what's this thing? And he goes, Anna, we cannot use that because the last time we used this room, you know, you ended up leaving me. I don't want you to leave me. And she's like, and she says, and I'm not changing it, she says this exact line. Are you ready for this? She goes, this time it'll be different. How? How? How in God's name will it be different? Explain it to me. Explain it to me. First of all, from the moment she met this guy, she knows literally nothing about him. Nothing, okay? Except the fact that he was abused as a kid. And she doesn't have any feelings for him. She doesn't. She doesn't, girls. She doesn't. Let me explain why. He's a billionaire. Okay, he's rich. He is, I know this seems very cynical of me, but this is what I'm getting out of this movie. Maybe it's not explained well to me. I don't know. But I think she likes him for his money. I really do. And the fact that maybe she can change him. Okay, here's my biggest problem with that whole thing. If she's in a relationship with this guy just to change him, then why the hell is she with him to begin with? Why would you want to change someone at all? Why? If you're in a relationship. I mean, if you're in a relationship and you're changing the person that you're in a relationship with, maybe you shouldn't be dating that person to begin with. Like, that's just... I don't know what to say about that. I really don't. I really don't. But... so then that happens, and I'm trying to remember of the stuff... And even Kim Basinger has a scene with Dakota Johnson, and she tells her, she says... You know, you don't love him. You just love him for his money. You don't... And she slaps her across the face, and Dakota Johnson goes, you don't know what our love is like. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, this is just what Bella Swan would say. This is exactly what Bella Swan would say. They're not in love. They are not in love. They just want to mess around and have sex. That's it. That's it. And then, by the way, that's the whole movie, by the way. Okay, the sex scenes... Because that's what everyone wants to see are the sex scenes. And by the way, I didn't go to see the sex scenes. If I want to see porn, I watch the internet. I don't pay money to go see a movie that tries to do it like that, okay? And by the way, this is rated R, not NC-17. If you want NC-17 and hardcore shit, you go to the internet. You don't need this. So anyway, like, you know, I'm watching this. I'm watching the sex scenes. And they must have sex, I think maybe 9 times in this movie. At least 9 sex scenes. Sometimes they have sex and sometimes they do it and it's implied that they're doing it. But, you know, okay, let me explain to you how the sex scenes are paced out. Remember that bad community college play that you went to go see that had, like, 2 minutes of dialogue and then a song, and the songs were terrible? Like you know, kind of like a bad musical. You know, there's like 28 different songs in the span of an hour and a half, and there's 2 minutes of dialogue in between the songs. Imagine the sex scenes are the songs. Because you don't give a shit what these people are talking about, what the characters are talking about. You don't care. I don't care. I don't know if anyone else does. They're just going for the sex scenes, which is understandable, but, you know, it's just like, as a film, as a narrative, as a story, as characters, as anything having to do with reality, considering the fact that this is supposed to take place in reality, in the real world, piece of shit. Piece of shit. And I thought maybe it would be a little better because James Foley directed this. I mean, this is the guy that made Fear, right? With Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon. That's actually, I like that movie. I like that movie. I think James Foley can do good stuff. I think he can do good. And I heard that, you know, they had to reevaluate stuff because the first one, you know, was a little different, I guess. And now they're trying to go, I thought they would go full Twilight here. I thought they would go full comedy. But then I started reading reviews that it was going to be bad, but I'm like, no, I gotta see it anyway. I gotta find out what happens now. And man, was this movie, oh my god. And then, and then at the, alright, so here's the ending. This is the ending of the movie. The ending of the movie is that, oh, by the way, one more thing. Anna's boss is trying to get in her pants. He almost tries to, he makes a pass at her, and she runs away, kicks him in the nuts, and runs over to Christian, who just happened to be outside walking into her office out of nowhere. Again, the guy loves to stalk his girlfriends. And she says, my boss just made a pass at me, and he makes the bodyguard go in and kick the shit out of him, and the guy is forced to resign and everything. And then that's the end of that, so that was kind of pointless. But not entirely, because what happens is, towards the end, Christian says to Anna, he says, I had to go to Portland for a couple days for my company, and I'll be back. And he gets in his helicopter, and the helicopter's flying, and it crashes. And this comes right out of nowhere. This helicopter crash scene, and they spent a good, not a good chunk of the movie, but at least the next 20 minutes talking about it. Because his helicopter crashes, and Anna and apparently, and Christian's family, they don't know if he made it out okay. They don't know. And so, it turns out he does make it out okay. He walks right in the front door in his apartment. They're all sitting there waiting for him. They're watching the television. They're all nervous, like, oh, is he dead? Is he not dead? And he comes walking in. First of all, you know, he comes walking in, he says, I'm sorry I didn't call, my phone died, and I had no way to get out. Okay, if he had no way to get out and he didn't have his phone, how the hell did he get from the mountains from his busted chopper to Seattle, Washington in a matter of hours? How is that possible? How is that possible? So then that happens, and then he proposes to Anna, and she says yes. She gives him a keychain that says yes, and they're gonna get married. Okay, big whoop. We knew that was coming. And then they have another party for Christian's birthday, and then he proposes to her again because, again, we don't know already that he's already proposed to her, even though he's done it one time, but we gotta make it 2 hours long, so let's keep it going. And so then, he proposes to her a second time, and fireworks go off, and then the camera pulls back, and I'm like, oh, is this the end? Please let it be the end. And then it's over, and I'm like, yes, thank you, I can get up. And then it keeps going. Then it keeps going. Then it cuts to her boss that made a pass at her, and he's looking at the fireworks. He's standing from afar, and he looks down at this picture he has of Christian Grey and his family, and he takes his cigarette that he's smoking, and he burns out Christian's head, and it evaporates, and like, ooh, it's a big cliffhanger here, and then it says the end, and then I hear 2 women applaud in the theater behind me, and I had to get out of there because I would have unloaded on those girls for them applauding this movie. I would have flipped out. Okay, so I left, and I got nothing more to say about this movie. This movie, you know, I can't hate it. I can't hate it. I really can't. I can't hate this movie because I knew it was going to be bad. I knew it was going to be bad. I don't hate it as much as I hate the first one. The first one can rot in hell, but this one, I don't know, man. It was just boring. Boring. A boring movie. Very boring. And very long, too. So that's 50 Shades Darker. And why is it called 50 Shades Darker? I don't know. Because we don't go further into his past. We really don't. Other than the fact that his pecs she can't touch. Because apparently they have the lipstick and they draw around it. I guess. I don't know. So, that's 50 Shades Darker. Boring movie. I know it's gonna make money. I know it's gonna happen. Because apparently they already made the third one, so now they gotta release the third one. Yeah, that's it. Bad movie. We all knew that going in. Don't go see it. It's boring as shit. If you want to watch porn, go on Pornhub. I don't know what else to tell you. So anyway, that's my review on 50 Shades Darker, and I will see you guys in the next review later. Alright, now that I've got my review finished, it's time again. Hello?
Hey, B?
Hey, Gianni, what's up?
Listen. I know you're looking forward to ripping up that 50 Shades Darker poster, but you can't do it.
What? Why not?
Well, some of the girls at work want it.
The girls that work at the movie theater want the poster?
Yes.
So I can't even touch the poster?
You cannot touch the poster.
Okay. I won't touch the poster. I won't lay a single finger on it.
Hello? Anyone?
I knew using the Force was going to come in handy. He said not to touch the poster. Had to do it. Well, thank God that that's the end of the 50 Shades movies. It was a lot of fun, but I'm glad it's over. You know, folks, we can prevent this if we don't spend money seeing this movie.
That's not how the Force works.